We know. All I know is what we don't know.
With a very specific accent.
Oh, no. I know her. It's Owen's daughter.
Dirter?
Did I stir? The daughter's been murdered.
Oh, daughter.
You've seen dead teens in New York, Chicago, and Boston. But what about another city with very specific whites? Pennsylvania whites.
Would you guys quit eating Wawa hoagies over the body, please?
Sorry, Ross.
From the makers of Mare of Easttown.
All right, it is time for our Mare of Easttown finale preview show. Welcome into this YouTube exclusive episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined by the Ryans Davey, both in the house. Davies, how are you?
Feeling good. I'm feeling good tonight, Richard. We got our special guest, our dog, Ogie Oglethorpe, is going to join us. He's on the couch right there. There he is.
Lots of theories and feelings.
He's
very concerned. Yeah.
And everybody's drinking a very on-brand beverage. You guys got the Yinglings. I got the Rolling Rock. So cheers to you.
There we go. Cheers to you.
As we are an hour away from the Mare of Easttown finale. And dare I say, as good of a first season of television that we have seen, True Detective, Watchmen, shows like that, I would put this, now again, who knows how the finale plays out, but I'd put this right up there with all of them.
Agreed. I think Watchmen is I give the slight edge, but this is something right up your alley, right?
Well, yeah, because I think it's a lot about mothers and
daughters. Yeah.
Daughters.
Right up my alley.
Come on, Siobhan.
I'm going to do the accent all night.
I'm not very good at it, but there's certain words that like you put me onto the motor oil. And I also think it's very easy to do just come on, Siobhan. Come on, Siobhan.
Yeah. And so we got to break that down too. Like how hard it actually is really hard to do because you have words like daughter, which has an O sound.
Yeah.
Right. Which is like daughter. Which is like also how they say like water is like water. It's all. Then there's like those O's that are like those overpronounced O's that they do at different times. Like it's crazy.
He does this all day. All
day. I practice.
All day.
I don't blame you. I really don't blame you.
It's all I hear.
It's given the show a little extra something though, hasn't it?
It has. Yes.
It has. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Most shows don't do this. And the truth, apparently, as the story goes, when they had the idea for the show, they were talking and they were like, you know, we could just kind of skip on the accents. And Kate Winslet was like, no, we're doing the accents.
Yeah.
And then Gene Smart was like, oh shit, now I have to do the accent.
Yeah, but Gene Smart can do everything.
Yes, she can do it.
She can do anything you want.
They got a good cast. I'm loving it. And so here we are with one episode left to go. What we had was sort of two different crimes going on. And can we, fair to say that the girl that was found in that sort of Silence of the Lambs style episode, like that guy has nothing to do with Erin McMenamin, obviously, right?
Well, I think the one thing that connects she says no, but the one thing that connects them, and I think that put them on to him was the website with the whores.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a bit surprising that Erin was on. It was called like Backdoor or was Side Door?
Which that's something else. If you go to Backdoor, that's something else.
What's the Side Door?
Ears, maybe.
What?
Ear stuff.
Cochlear sex is big right now.
Ear stuff?
You're doing mostly ear stuff?
Well, I gotta Google that later.
I can't be right. But I'm with you, I don't think it has. That was sort of a separate story. I think it was good, but that's sort of, I put that to the side. That has nothing to do with this.
I think there's a point to it. I think Mare had to figure that out to like move on to the next thing because she was so caught up on not finding that lady's daughter.
Yeah. And what was it? The cancer lady? What was her name?
Yeah, that's what her.
I know, but I was trying to figure out her name.
I can't remember
because I keep calling her that, and that's a terrible thing to call somebody.
Dawn Bailey.
Dawn. Okay, yeah.
Dawn Bailey and her daughter Katie.
I should have the. Yeah, I knew it was Katie. I should have the IMDb page up.
Yeah, because I do get confused. You know, I get confused.
I have this now. This.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's helpful.
Now this isn't all of the characters. This is just from the HBO website itself. And if you're, so it's got Mare, Lori, Helen, Siobhan, Detective Colin Zabel, Richard Ryan, Frank Sheehan, Chief Carter, Kenny McMenamin, Deacon Mark Burton, Carrie Layden, John Ross, and Father Dan Hastings. So one character who is not on this list is Billy Ross.
Billy Ross.
Billy him
Yeah.
or Billy me? Because I kept getting so confused.
Look at this. Look at
I
this.
kept getting so confused because Billy and John are the names are just so interchangeable for me, and they're brothers. So it was throwing me off.
Hit it.
The bones are their money, so are the worms. They pull your hair up, but not out to turn it to a man and have another chance at life. But if they pull it out, they turn to bones.
So do you read into anything of this? So this is on the HBO website, and it says like featured cast, and Billy's not even on there. And so could Billy be the killer and not on this list?
No,
Yeah.
Are we doing theories yet?
I think this is all that this is. So this is obviously spoilers for episodes 1 through 6, and it's just whatever our guesses are for the finale. Sure, go for it.
Going with my gut. My guess is that Billy is the one who pulled the trigger on it, but John did it. I think John did it, but Billy knew about it because there was that whole conversation when he got divorced and came back home, and Billy came home drunk and was pissed about it.
Right.
Because he couldn't keep his dink in his pants.
Right. But I think.
Remember that?
Yes. So.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You have the floor.
Okay. So my theory right now is, so we have the photo, right?
That's the other thing we got to talk about.
But I think John is actually the father of baby DJ. And Billy knew.
Okay.
And there was a series of events that led Billy, Frank, and John to be in the woods because Frank is the alibi for John and Billy. He said they were with me. We were all shit-faced, essentially.
But Frank was particularly drunk because there's a photo of him passed out. So he wouldn't be a good witness no matter what.
Right. But I think they were all in the woods, the three of them. And then Billy was drunk enough. They convinced him that he did it. Like he was covered in blood. He went home. I think John actually did it.
Oh, that's good. Because so basically the way the show has gone is each episode, they've sort of pointed you in the direction of a certain character. And then the next episode, it's been somebody else. And so last episode, it was a near confession from Billy. But you're right. It was so forced. And John was giving him you need to say it.
You need to say it. Right.
Unless it's just because another theory could be Billy is a single dude and John is the one that has a family. And so even if John did it, maybe Billy's going to take the rap for him. Or Billy could be the father of the kid because that's sort of where they're pointing you in this direction. So either Billy's the father or John's the father, right? One or the other.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty convinced it's John.
I was going to say maybe Billy, the motivation for Billy to kill Erin was that they were both uncle fuckers. And
oh god, boy.
No, that's getting real.
No. Listen, it's from South Park. Have you seen?
No,
and they are her uncles.
I know, but I don't think she was doing both of them.
Yeah. So my point is I think Billy, okay, fine, stole a smooch from Erin first, and then John did, and then impregnated her, and then Billy was upset about it. That's another theory.
No,
is that too watered down?
I don't think
it's way too much. It's not watered down.
Like
over the top.
I think they kind of like held it over Billy and they were like, she's going to live at your house and I'm going to come here, do what I have to do. But then she gets pregnant. Now it's like, oh, what are we going to do? All right, she's going to go home and she has to like hook up with this other kid, which leads me to the other thing, I think.
Well, so let's get to Dylan in a second.
Right.
There's a lot going on with Dylan, and he's acting very suspicious for somebody who we don't think did it. He's acting very odd. But just going back to the John Billy dynamic, because the other part of all of this, which is giving you clues going back to early episodes, is John and Lori's son. He knows something. And as of right now, it's just, oh, John's having that affair again, and he saw the affair. But a couple of things. One, the son walked in when he saw Erin's face on TV with the other missing girls, and he acted really strange. Then there's the scene of John talking to him in his bedroom by himself. And then there's the scene of him at the middle school or high school, I don't know, middle school, beating the bag out of some kid with a lunch tray. So showing you how violent he is. That's why I'm like, could he somehow?
All right. Now,
I don't know if he would have been out at midnight or whatever when Erin was killed. But that's another one where, again, you have these Ross boys where maybe the uncle is taking the fall for now the kid.
Well, remember, too, that Mare and Lori were out that night, too. They had the thing for their basketball.
Yeah, but Lori left and Mare stayed and hooked up with Richard
Ryan, who is another character.
Why would you bring Guy Pearce on this show to not have him do anything?
Correct.
Well, no, because they're actually friends in real life.
I understand that, but like, that's a big name dude.
But I think like for him, so my whole thought on him is like he's supposed to show us he's the only person not from the town, right? Or who didn't supposedly know her beforehand. Well,
he and Deacon Mark Burton both come out of town. And I might have heard this wrong, but Richard Ryan, I believe, came from Syracuse. Did Deacon Mark say he transferred from Rochester? I don't know if I said that or not, but I feel like if he did,
sounds right.
Would those two have known each other somehow, some way? But it's just like I'm with male Ryan on this one because Guy Pearce, one of the bigger name characters. The last movie I saw him in, he was like a fake good guy, then all of a sudden bad guy. So I was like, what's the deal here?
That being Iron Man 3.
But doesn't that seem, I don't know, that just seems stupid. Like, what, Richard Ryan comes in and kills Erin McMenamin for no reason?
No, I think he's writing a book. Like you said, he's writing a book on Mare.
I think he's going to end up I think he's going to leave and basically exploit this whole town, which is like they're small town, rural, blue collar people being exploited by someone outside of their town.
Now, he also admitted to having a son around the same age as Erin McMenamin.
He did, but he never sees it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you think he's like
I don't know.
His real dad?
I just want that to be out there. I want the record to show.
Yes. No, he's definitely sketchy. I don't know.
All right, what is your Dylan theories or Dylan Hinchy theories? Erin's ex-boyfriend and not the father.
Okay, so my whole thing is the name of this episode is Sacrament. So what is a sacrament? Baptism. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I think the deacon knows that Erin had a baby with one of her uncles. He knows what's going on. Why does he keep it a secret? She's blackmailing him. Why is she blackmailing him? Because she caught him and Dylan having a tryst, which is not illegal because he's 18, but that was in the journals. So she basically convinced Dylan and Deacon to help her carry her secrets, or she was going to expose their secrets. So that's why they've worked so hard to keep everything covered up.
Oh my God.
Right.
Because I was like, why does he want to burn these journals?
Great question.
What could be in there?
That was on my list. Like,
on my list too.
Right. Like, why would he care?
Like something was so important, and yet it really feels like he's not the killer. But at the same time, his new girlfriend, Brianna Del Rasa, was like, he wasn't up. Like, I woke up at 2:00. He was gone. So where was he?
I think he was with the deacon.
Oh my God.
Or maybe, so remember that Erin was going to see the deacon, right?
Yeah.
She called him, right? Because that have that phone record. So yeah, she probably caught them in the act.
I think she had caught them in the act before, but they were like having some sort of relationship, like an actual relationship over a course of time. And that's why she kept his secrets. But then I think she said to her family, like, Dylan's not going to give me the money and I can only keep this secret for so long. So like, you need to give me the money. It all comes back to the surgery for the kid. Like Erin did everything because the whole thing of the show is mothers. Like everything she did was sacrificing for her son. I think that the deacon, so she felt like, okay, my son needs to be baptized to get rid of his sins. So the deacon's going to baptize him. Yeah, and I think the photo could be a baptism with maybe Frank as like a godfather and the uncles all there.
So my theory was a little bit simpler.
Okay.
In that Dylan's parents want to adopt the baby, right? And the whole thing that we've been going back and forth with the show, like Mare and her grandson, like she can't adopt him because the mother is still alive. Like she can't. She has no rights to the kid. So my guess
tried her best, but
is that Dylan knows that one of these two guys is the father, and he knows that his parents really want to adopt this baby. So he's going to try to destroy all the evidence against that, proving that one Billy or John are the fathers, so his parents can keep the baby.
I don't think Dylan knows at all, because I think Dylan thinks that it was his. I'm convinced Dylan thinks that it was his, and he has no idea who else's it could be.
I think he thought it was his until he got the DNA test. But
correct.
Yeah.
No,
or maybe he was hoping it was his because they were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
I think I think he just assumed that it was, and then he couldn't believe it that it wasn't. And I don't even know if he would have guessed it as who it could be. But clearly, Jess is the friend, is Aaron's friend.
Yes.
Jess is the one that got him onto the journals and everything else. And so she found something in there, and so she has this information. But now Dylan's losing his mind for it.
Well, she also
Jess knows the answer.
Well, Jess was the one who originally said Frank was the father, but I think he's like the godfather, and she just misunderstood that. So I think it all comes back to something with the sacrament of baptism. Like it all comes.
Yeah, you're right.
I think she was like confused, and that's why Frank was trying to help, but then tried to brush it off like he didn't really know her.
Well, also
because he was also covering his friend's secrets.
Another sacrament in the Catholic religion is reconciliation, confessions.
Right.
So marriages.
Now, right now, I think the fastest riser. I don't have the Vegas odds on who the killer is, but one that has really picked up steam between episode 6 and episode 7, even though there's nothing really there, in my opinion, is Siobhan. Siobhan. A lot of people think Siobhan did it. Why?
I don't know, because I'm saying it's somebody with the last name Ross. I would put that.
I'm with you. It's either, Billy's probably too on the nose, and again, because they've always given you it's this character, and then next week, no, it's this character, and then this week, no, it's this character. So I don't think it's Billy. I think it definitely could be John. I think it's kind of pointing towards John. But a lot of people are saying Siobhan. And I guess one thing I would say is she has gotten a ton of screen time for somebody who's probably not the killer.
But I feel,
that kind of goes into like the story is about the killer. Right. But it's also really about Mare.
The show's about Mare.
And it's like her. I think a big thing is like once she finishes this case, I think she's going to focus on being a mom and being part of her family and taking care of her daughter.
But I also think that she's driving the storyline with with her son. So like with the fact that her son, neither one of them can let him go, because Siobhan's making the movie and Mare is like in therapy talking about him now and never really dealt with that stuff. And they've never really crossed. So I think there's a resolution to all of Mare's issues coming in this episode. And that's because Siobhan comes home wasted, and they have that moment where she's talking to her and like apologizing to her for the first time for not being, she was saying, you should have been the one to find him and blah, 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 blah. So I think all of these characters, and I'm looking at this image right now, and they're all pointing back to Mare. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of,
it's definitely a show. I mean, it's the goddamn name of the show is Mare of Easttown. So you're right. It's and no, even though as an audience member, you're like, oh, it's a whodunit. And so early on, you're like, there's two different crimes. We found out who the killer / kidnapper was for those ones. You're like, all right, nice. So you shift your attention back to the Erin McMenamin case. But you're right. Maybe Mare is just sort of showing you what her family is like. But at the same time, I mean, they show Siobhan way more than they show like Helen. Or
oh my god, how great is she?
Fantastic. Yes. Oh my god,
I love Jean Smart.
Yeah, she's so good.
I love her. Let's give her every award, all of them.
What about Aaron's dad? Anything with Aaron's dad? Because that's one he definitely seemed kind of just like an asshole early on, but I definitely don't think he killed her.
No, but he definitely tried. So that was the other thing. The one thing that we in this household have discussed: if you are shot in the spine from about 20 feet away, there is no way you're walking out of the hospital in like 2 days.
I mean, I've worked with people who were shot and stabbed in the spine, and I'll tell you, it doesn't happen that fast. whatever. It's a show. I don't try to get too like, but I always roll my eyes and I go,
with the show.
oh, like, oh my God. He might die and never walk again. Oh, he's walking home and walking upstairs and sitting on the stoop and driving around chasing people and
carrying a baby,
guns in people's faces.
Like, no, you don't do that.
You don't, but
yeah, he's aggressive with the gun in the face. Like,
right.
What are we doing here?
No, he has like a big secret to hide.
It is. That's why I can't think of a better theory. That is really good because, like, I don't think he killed her. So
no,
why else would he be so freaked out about what was in her journals? You're right.
So did Frank? So is Frank involved in this? Because I remember around the time that like all of this was going down, that's when it was questioned that he and Erin had an inappropriate relationship when he was a teacher. So like, but he's friends with the Ross brothers.
Right. I think he's like the godfather. And I think Faye, his wife to be, left because she knew he was withholding information and she was frustrated. Like, I think she was like, you're lying. You didn't come home at this time. She was like poking holes in his story. And she's like, I'm out of here. Because she's still not back. They were still
no.
Because when Mayor went over, he's like, "You want to sit down and have a drink?" Faye's with her family. She was still gone.
Right. She was.
They're like, you know her though.
So
never know.
The other thing that so the story that always gnaws at me is the whole old guy with this, like the security cameras. They made such a point
to like he has security cameras.
What did he write on the garage?
Was it a big dingus? Did he put a big dingus on the garage?
Something about her tits.
Oh yes.
Did he say like flappy tits or something?
Flappy no, yeah. It was,
what did he say?
And the guy's like, they don't even look like yours.
Yeah, that's what it was. He drew boobs.
An incredible line too. And he's like, I had an affair with Helen or Helen, whatever her name is. Hilarious. It's so funny. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up though. So you go back to episode 1. The first thing Mare does is she goes over to that house and they have to like draw up what the lady saw, and it was like a guy that looked like a ferret.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that kind of went away. And as I'm watching the show, I rewatched it. So I watched the first 4 episodes by myself, but then I got Katie into it. So then I rewatched the first 4 with her.
Oh, okay.
I was like, ooh, they kind of ignored this ferret angle. And I kind of think Guy Pearce looks like a ferret.
I was going to say he's the most ferretous.
And so in episode,
if that's a word, I don't know.
That's not a word.
I'm going to make it a word. He's ferretous.
And I think if you go to episode 5 or 6 or whatever it was, they bring that back when she's talking to the escort lady and she's like, oh yeah, this is like whatever. So that is something. And so somebody was
nothing.
It's not nothing. It's, dare I say, something.
It is.
And I think that's why I'm like, there's no way Guy Pearce comes onto the show, then shows up and then he's like, hey Mare, if you're ever getting around to dating, give me a buzz. Like, no, he's gonna be, in fact, he was too quiet last episode.
Well, yeah,
he's gonna be involved here in this one.
It was. And then it was like, she's like, I don't think I can date you. He's like, okay, cool. See you later.
He's
sketchy. I just don't. I can't see how. If it is him, I think he's the only person I would be annoyed if he was the killer of Erin. Because I'd be like, all these people link back and like, unless they make some.
Yeah.
Unless the photo is him and Erin.
Mm-hmm. True.
Or if it's Chief Carter. Let's not sleep on Chief Carter.
Chief Carter's definitely guilty.
Chief Carter, we're on
that son of a bitch.
Although I guess Father Dan, like, what's his deal too? Did he
Father Dan?
know?
I see that Father Dan's interesting because I wonder how much does he really know about Deacon Mark, obviously the cousin of Mare. It's interesting. But
I'm telling you, this all goes back to whores, is what it does. And you go back to the whore website. Side door with the cochlear sex.
But she never did anything.
Or
did she?
Or did she? Because her friend that said she didn't do anything also thought Frank was the dad. So,
but I guess even if she did do something on Side Door, is it Side Door?
Side
you guys
door,
gonna be double guessing. All right, on Side Door.
Side Door, all right.
It's not back door.
Even if she did something on Side Door, that wouldn't have resulted in a baby because that was way after she signed up for the money for the third grade.
Money.
Yeah,
right. No, I think the Side Door thing, like you said, it just was sort of like, oh, maybe Erin is tied in with that Silence of the Lambs type of kidnapper guy, and she's not. She's not.
Yeah.
If anything, I mean, that guy left those people alive for over a year, whereas Erin was killed that night. So money says John Ross or Billy Ross or somebody else.
I don't sleep on Lori Ross either.
Okay. Or I'm telling you, or John and Lori's son.
Or Ryan Ross, yeah.
Ryan Ross.
Like, I think, I don't know, because then if you
What about Siobhan?
like if Lori was in on the murder of the daughter, then I think she would be not with John. I think her and Billy would have somehow, because Billy was covered in blood. So
Billy
he had
him?
Billy me or Billy him.
No, I think
That's
so.
I
They.
get so fucking confused.
That's why I'm so fucking confused. No, but they had to have moved her. So whoever did it, I think Billy moved her.
So that's why I like the idea that clearly more than one person knows.
Yeah,
and
I think everyone knows.
So like when the deacon had the bike, that's why I was like, oh, he might not have done it, but he knows he did it. Now
he definitely dropped her wherever she was dropped. He dropped her there and knew who she was meeting. I think he knew that he was leaving her with the uncles or someone that he thought was safe. You know what I mean?
This is a good point. I was just reading this too.
So that's why I think it's a good point by Kevin, who says Ryan, Richard Ryan was with Mare. That's when they hooked up that night. And then Mare got home like at 3. I think Gene Smart even made a point to say like what time it was or whatever. So that seems to get him off, right?
Yeah.
But again, like that gets Mare away from everybody else.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? So like she was with Lori.
He could have been distracting her if he was in on
he could have been
someone. But
right. Oh, right. Oh, good. Right. No, I'm glad you brought that up because it could be #cahoots. Somebody be in cahoots.
Because then again, so all those people who are unaccounted for, because then Mare can't keep an eye on them. You know, Lori being one of them.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Richard serves a purpose, but not in the murder.
Murder.
Yeah.
I mean, he found a guy's daughter in the water.
No, but I think in tonight's episode, something is going to come back to, they were so pointed about that security camera point, like being that like, oh, you never know how to set it up. And then Mare looks at it and sees that it's actually the husband. And then she's like, oh, it's off. Something is that like why would they show that scene? Like why?
Yeah.
And then she dies. Like, so then does she go? Because she's like, I know it was that kid. Like, I'm gonna go and check the tapes again, and maybe she sees something, and she's going to tell someone, and then I don't know.
So I think the next question we have to take Vegas odds right now. We're looking at the screen.
That old lady is good friends with the Ross family too.
Right. But my point.
Okay. Sorry.
Who we have one person on the screen right now who's dead, and it's Erin McMenamin, the daughter of Kenny McMenamin.
Yeah.
Now, who else doesn't make it out of this episode?
Oh, you think someone else is going to die?
Someone else is going to die.
Someone else is going to die, huh? So also, Colin Zabel's on the list. He's already dead.
All right, so we got two people who are already dead.
That was also
Colin Zabel.
Devastating.
She yelled.
I screamed at my TV. No.
She goes no at like 11 o'clock at night.
Usually, I feel like you can see things coming.
Yeah.
Literally, never crossed my mind that was going to happen.
Oh, that was a tense scene. That felt like True Detective, Silence of the Lambs. I knew something was going to happen there. That was
and then Mare after going through that house was so cool. Yeah. That was a great scene.
That was cool.
Oh yeah, when he had like the camera, it was so Silence of the Lambs. It was awesome.
One of the best lines in the whole thing was when the ambulance came to get Helen after Siobhan's ex-girlfriend like trucked her through the door.
Yeah,
and Mare shows up. She's like, "This is it." And Helen goes, "I'm sorry, I'm not more maimed for you, Mare."
I did cackle at that.
Have you been watching Hacks, by the way, the show after? With
no, not yet.
It's fucking great.
No, you know what I wanted to ask? Have you been watching Cruel Summer? You love sexy teens.
I do like a sexy teen drama.
Yeah.
Cruel Summer? No.
You got to watch it. It's on Hulu.
All right, I'll watch it.
Cruel Summer. Good.
All right.
Way to spoil my pick of the pod there.
Sorry. Oh, you haven't watched it.
Yeah, but I was going to tell him to watch it.
Oh, I was like, well, it's my pick of the pod then.
He's paying it forward. It's paying it forward. All right, I'll watch that. I'll definitely.
You'll love it.
I don't think does anybody else die in this episode. Well, we know. This was my other theory.
Maybe Deacon.
I'm going with Billy. Billy's going down.
You think Billy? I think Deacon could die. I think if anything, Kenny kind of screwed them over. Like, I don't think they planned on Kenny going after Dylan, and they were going to try to pin everything on Dylan. And then when he went after Dylan, it kind of screwed everyone up.
I have a theory.
Okay,
I just came up with a theory right now.
Yeah.
So, Mare's going to solve this. But she's going to find out that there's like 6 people involved with this whole thing. And she's going to say that she can't solve it. Like, oh, like, remember the whole purpose of the show was like, she's kind of like this, who couldn't solve the Katie
Bailey.
She couldn't solve the Katie Bailey case. Right. And then she's going to be like, I can't do it and quit. Like, that's how the show is going to end.
That'd be disappointing.
Yeah,
she's gonna like witness John killing Billy, and then she knows, but she's just not gonna pursue it.
Well, yeah, especially because Lori's her best friend, you know.
And if Lori's in on it, she won't pursue it.
Or Siobhan. Like if Siobhan somehow is in on it.
Or Ryan.
I guess I could see because the baby is now in limbo and Mare's gonna see. Maybe if the 2 uncles are dead and Lori's going to take the baby, because Lori has said I'm going to try to adopt the baby.
Right.
So maybe she'd be like, you know what? Just let sleeping dogs lie. Let the baby have a good chance at life with Lori. Because Lori is a good mom.
Which is crazy because it really could be John's kid. And then Lori would, oh boy.
And then that dirty secret dies and Lori
one of the other things I thought at the end of last episode was because again, they were trying to make you think that it was definitely Billy. I thought so John and Billy were like, hey, let's go fishing. Cause it's time to, have a fish. I thought he was going to Godfather to him, take him out of the boat. John was going to kill Billy out there because if word gets out that there's incest in the family, it's so much worse. So so this guy, because I'm guessing Kenny doesn't know that it was Billy. Not only it was the father and killed her, it's like a double whammy, if you will. So he's like, I'll just dump the body out here. So I don't know. But then the more I think about it, it's probably not the case. I like the idea that John maybe is responsible for both. I go back and forth now. I think John could definitely be the father, but maybe either his son did the killing and they're trying to cover it up. And I like what you said. Either Billy's taken the fall or they've just convinced Billy that he did it because maybe he was so shit-faced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our friend Brian says, shout out to the show's best supporting character, Mare's Vape. I did notice 3 episodes in that every time she hits that thing, her next thing is the wrong thing. Like she makes that bad decision hitting that thing and then does something stupid immediately after.
That's really funny.
So
what's in the attic?
Kevin says also, what's in the attic? Someone is going up there this episode. Lots of emphasis on the attic in the last episode. Maybe Mare's dad's gun was up there.
Oh, shit. Because they said it was an old Colt and he was a cop.
Yeah, Kevin, you might be
Siobhan got it's either Siobhan got it. Yeah.
It's Kevin, you son of a bitch. You might be onto something here because the gun is definitely, I think, going to be. They've made reference to how old the gun is, and they also reference how nobody goes up there because Mare's son killed himself up in the attic. But as Davey was just about to get to, Siobhan's been doing this whole project, so she's found all these tapes, she's found all this stuff, so she probably has gone up there, even though Mare doesn't think so. So if anybody had an old ass gun. And we also know that Mare's dad was a detective.
But then so you're saying Siobhan
has cause.
Siobhan has cause.
But why would she kill Erin?
She hates her.
Why? Why?
I don't know.
But again, Ryan Ross has been in that house too.
When?
Like he was there. Was he there? All the friends were over. Remember they were watching basketball?
Sixers were playing.
But that was after the murder, right?
Eggles.
Yeah, but my point is they go over each other's houses.
I'm
just we're looking at this from all angles.
I get it.
Without, I can't do the accent. I'm in and out of the accent.
Well, you want me to stay in it or go
no,
you might as well do it the whole time.
I can stay in it all night.
Get ready for tomorrow. I'm telling you.
Erin and Kevin were involved. She broke up with him. Kevin hung himself as a result. I feel like that's a big
it's a little bit of a stretch
because Kevin was dating Carrie and had a son with him at that point.
Yeah, I don't see that. I think they're
what would be the clue? What makes you think that? I don't.
Folks, what we have is a great whodunnit.
No, it is. I think
we don't know who done it.
No matter how it ends, I think it's been an enjoyable show. And
now, is there anybody who could done it that would really piss you off?
I mean, if Chief Carter does it, that's dumb.
I think either
if Mare is the killer, I'm going to be kind of annoyed.
If Mare did it, I would throw my TV down. Like that's just stupid.
Mare did it.
That's what Mare did it. Yeah, no, that's what Rich said.
That would be. I'm saying if Mare done it, then you have every right to be upset.
What is it like a Fight Club thing? She's like someone else.
Zabel from the grave.
Billy is really Mare.
Billy's Mare.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those like she doesn't. Yeah, she's created this character in her head. She
created this drunk brother.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right,
I think if it's Richard Ryan, I will be annoyed unless they find some crazy way to link him in.
They really link him up. Yeah, no, I'll be on that.
But then I think like
for a while, but there's nothing really there.
No, I said in the beginning, I'm like, he's so sketchy, but I also feel like he's sketchy because he's from the outside. So we don't see him interact with anyone else, which I think is why it would annoy me if it was him.
What if the other thing that would annoy me too is if it was Siobhan's ex-girlfriend. What's her name? Yeah, because remember because
she's too high to do a radio thing. If it was
my point is like Siobhan. Well, that's why she was high because that happened after. But she saw Siobhan help Erin, right, and like try to take care of her. That could have sent her into a jealous rage. Next thing you know, everyone's overdosing and covered in motor oil, and they're dead in the water.
The daughter.
So
here's Jordan jumping in. His final prediction: Frank done it. John was the only one sober enough to see. Convinced Billy he did it because he loved her and took care of the body. See, I don't know. So here's my question. Do you think that the father of Erin's child is also the killer?
Yes, because I think she finally got to a breaking point where she's like, I need this money for my son. I've tried all these different avenues. I've blackmailed people. I've thought about selling my body. If you're not going to help me, I'm coming forward and telling everyone you're the father. That's it. I don't care. Let it all be damned. Like my kid needs help. Like I'm not doing this for the rest of his life. Like every time he needs something, scratching and fighting. And then I think that the father flipped out.
I'm with you. And that's why I think it's probably John, because it's usually, again, it was so pointed at Billy, and Billy never admits it. John's like, you got to tell me that you did it. You got to say that you did. And even though Billy was covered in blood, doesn't matter. It just means Billy knows. And I think a couple of things with John. One, all the stuff going on with this kid, but there's also the scene where John shows up at his father's house, and his dad's like, what are you doing here this time? And he's like, Lori thinks I'm having an affair. And he goes, thinks you're having an affair? And then he never really answers the question.
Yeah.
So it's like he's not even having an affair anymore. Like
that's when Billy comes in and he's all pissed off and he couldn't keep
I think if you're looking at Ryan, like Ryan might have overheard his uncles talking and know that one of them did it.
I tell you, that Ryan kid's a nosy son of a bitch.
No, he definitely, because he's always doing homework. He's always sitting there.
Nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he's really listening. He's really listening.
Yeah. All right. Here, this one's from Dan. He says Siobhan finds out in her video research her brother is the father of Erin's kid, and in something she watched, he says she's a reason why he killed himself. So she kills Erin. John and Billy move the body.
Why would John and Billy move the body
for
Erin?
I don't know about that. I don't. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, maybe anything's possible, but that feels like a big. Yeah, that feels
possible. but John and Billy, I don't think would cover it up.
Especially if they weren't really the biological father.
Right. That takes
they
them
are.
off. So one of them has to be the father, either that or John's kid did it. Otherwise, they wouldn't, I don't think, be this involved. You know, otherwise they'd be pissed because that's their niece or whatever.
But if Ryan Ross did it, the son of John and Lori Ross, is that a little too, not to get into spoilers, but is that a little too Mystic River?
Oh,
because that was basically the plot of Mystic River.
Classic film, though.
A great film.
Classic film.
Dennis Lehane novel.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
You like that movie?
What?
Which stars, by the way, tie it in.
I stopped listening. I was trying to read what people were saying.
Stars Philadelphia native Kevin Bacon.
Oh, you're talking about Mystic River?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are.
Hi, welcome to the
Hi,
conversation.
welcome.
Hi.
It's usually when you're on a podcast, you want to look, you want to
No,
talk into this microphone, and you want to talk to them.
Listen, I was looking at what people were writing, and someone said Dan solved it, but I'm trying to see what Dan said.
Dan said Siobhan found the video research her brother was doing.
Oh, no, I don't think. Sorry, Dan. I don't think that's it. But maybe. Who knows?
Like, I randomly throughout the day will slip into this accent, by the way. And it drives everyone in my house nuts.
It's insane. It's insane.
Like, I need to have someone from Delco on here to know that I'm doing it correctly.
Yeah, I think you're all over it. I think you're all over it. Yeah, I'm with Brad. I'm with Brad. I've something's going. Guy Pearce is the ferret. He has to be the ferret. He's the most ferret-looking one.
He's walking around the neighborhood trying to look at old titties.
I think he's trying to see old saggy boobs.
He's trying to see those armpitties. You know, the ones that go into your arm, the ones that go in your armpits when you lay down.
Come on, too much. It's a
armpitties. Those are armpitties. That's the thing.
Right,
armpitties.
Hit Wendy Williams, will you, one time?
Rude. No.
And she probably got 5 new boyfriends. We haven't caught anybody coming out of the house yet, but you know, just a matter of time. She's not lonely. I apologize.
Erin McMenamin got 5 new boyfriends. Haven't caught any of them coming out of the house yet.
Because they all live in the house because they're all related. Oh. Oh my God, stop.
All right.
Laser beam! Better than fireballs, you pussy!
All right. Well,
this has gone off the rails.
That's what it always says. But this show, I will say definitively, regardless of how it ends, this show is better than Fireballs.
Yes, it
is. It is. I think
it is better than Fireballs.
Fireballs so far. I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait to see what happens. So tomorrow night after the Bruins,
we're gonna let it breathe.
We'll be back for our full breakdown. Ryan,
you want to be back for that?
Yeah, Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of feelings.
I do you think I'm gonna cry, yell? I think I'm gonna cry and yell.
Yeah.
I think both things will happen.
Well, speaking of that, how about there was 2 different scenes in this where you thought a kid was gonna die, and my wife was not having it.
No,
someone said, who was asking us about it.
Oh, yeah,
I was literally looking through my fingers like a horror movie. I was like, no. I have very few phobias.
I was like, no. I go, they're not. I go, this show is not gonna do that.
No.
I go, they're gonna tease it.
Yeah.
Just like they did when the kid in the hospital was crying and Dylan stood up with his pillow.
Yes, that was.
And you're like, he's not gonna. And then he like picks him up and you're like, okay.
So I have one phobia in my entire life. What is it?
Oh, it was Kevin.
My one phobia.
Drowning. Yeah.
His phobia is Kevin.
It's Kevin. Anyone named Kevin is a phobia of mine.
It's such a fear of Kevin's. All right, this is
Kevin is your greatest fear.
Kevin.
His rival is Kevin. All Kevins. So Mr. How 44, his question is, can this end worse than The Undoing? Did you guys watch The Undoing?
I stopped watching The Undoing because I go, they keep telling you who it is. Are we just not going to believe them?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, it was who they said it was the whole time.
It was for sure Hugh Grant the whole time because it was so Hugh Grant. Look, there's a Kevin among us, Ryan.
Oh, no, it's him.
It's Kevin.
Run for the hills.
We have a Kevin.
See, the reason why I think there's no way this is as bad as The Undoing is The Undoing was like interesting and you wanted to know how they were going to end it, but it never reached this level, in my humble opinion. This was always better. This is True Detective season 1.
Right.
Good.
And I feel like The Undoing I was annoyed by it by episode 3 or 4. I think I stopped at 3.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I said to me, like a good show is when I'm thinking about it all the time and like coming up with and I'm like, why am I thinking about this so much? Because
those are her notes.
I have, but that's
copious notes.
That's a good show.
It's a great show.
I'm thinking about it all the time.
True Detective season 3, by the way. I did that voice too, by the way, for a long time.
Yeah.
When Mahershala Ali was like,
oh yeah, no.
We just do that like, that's enough for the day, young lady.
Yeah,
old Mahershala Ali did.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
There's a lot of that.
A lot of noise before the words came. That was a good season, though. It was.
That was good.
It was really good.
Not season 1 good, but it was way better than season 2.
Well, that was not hard to do.
All right. Any other predictions? So we think again. Let's just cast a wide net. The only possible killers are John Ross, Billy Ross, John Ross's kid,
Ryan Ross. Yeah,
Ryan Ross. Are we gonna go Siobhan, or are we gonna rule out Siobhan?
I don't think personally. I don't think Siobhan. I think Ryan said it right. In my mind, it's someone with the last name Ross.
Okay, so
and that's it's a Ross.
Can't be Lori.
Can't be. One more. It could be.
I mean, that
because she doesn't like her husband dorking around on her. She's had enough.
Right.
Although she did act.
Maybe she learned about it. Right. Oh, fuck, Ryan.
I'm all over it.
Because if we're to the belief that Erin was like, enough is enough, and like to your point, Ryan, like I need this money. Nobody's giving me this money. I'm gonna tell you like the truth behind this kid. And whether it's John, well, especially if it's John's kid, maybe that's when Lori's like, can't have it.
Yeah, like although, she could have reached out to Lori, but I guess we would have seen that in her phone records. I don't know.
All right, let's put her on there. So let's go John, most likely, then Billy, then maybe Ryan.
Yep.
And then Lori, then Siobhan.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Richard Ryan.
And then Richard Ryan's involved somehow.
Somehow, some way.
And my other prop bets.
We ruling out Frank. I know Jordan likes Frank for this.
But the prop bets are.
I think Frank is an accomplice.
Oh, Jesus Christ! It's so layered. It's so layered.
But I think he's an accomplice. I think he knew what happened and he's helping cover it. And I know that Frank is somehow like that's why he was giving Erin the supplies for the baby, because he knew one of those two were the father and weren't helping her, and he felt bad. And he's, in my mind, he is the godfather.
And for me, the prop bets I have is that over under 0.75 people are going to die. So I'm going to take the over.
0.7.
At least one person is going to die.
Okay.
That's interesting.
And Mayor quits being a detective at the end of the show. Because it goes through it like the big joke that they've made with the show that everyone's related, that everyone's cousins. So like she doesn't want her entire fucking family to go down for this.
Yeah.
Not going down for this.
That's a good point. Does Mare end up with her grandson, or does Carrie get custody?
No, I think she gives Carrie a chance.
And she reconciles.
She's gonna try to stay involved, but because I think she's going to be like, you're going to need support. I want you to be the mom, but I want to be supportive of you.
And here's how it goes down. Siobhan's moving out. She's going to California, and then Carrie's going to move in.
Yeah, maybe.
Siobhan's going to Berkeley.
Yeah, she's like, you need to get your life together.
Get out of here.
That can make sense.
Siobhan's out. Carrie's in.
Is Sosie Bacon, is she a Bacon? Like a Kevin Bacon? Is she related to him?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so she's Kevin Bacon and what's her name?
Sedgwick's daughter?
I think so.
She kind of looks like, that's why I was like looking. I'm like, oh, she could.
And she's from the area.
Yeah.
She's from the neighborhood.
Interesting. All right. Cool.
Yeah, she is. She's their daughter.
She looks like the two of them matched together. And when I'm looking at the last name, I'm like, Siobhan is
she's Kevin Bacon's daughter, and Kevin Bacon's from Philly.
Siobhan is going to California to Cal Berkeley.
She was also in 13 Reasons Why. She played Sky Miller.
Sosie Bacon?
Sosie Bacon.
Really?
And she's also in the TV show Scream.
And Siobhan was Betty Brant in the newest Spider-Man movies.
Correct. Yeah, she was in the Homecoming and Far From Home. Yeah.
Well, my final thought is My final thought is Siobhan has a great undercut and color on her hair. She should take her mom to get her roots done.
Oh my God, this hurt.
Wow.
She was telling me that Mare looks like she's down 3 quarts of oil.
I don't know what any of that means.
Meaning her highlights are like halfway down her head, so she looks like she's down a quart of oil.
She's doing the best she can, right?
I know she's busy and depressed. I get it. You know what will make you feel better? Get your hair done.
Yeah, Mare, get your minging ass hairdo done.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
That's my final thought.
I like it a lot. I am excited for this. So we have
Me too. I can't wait.
And if you joined us late, Rye had the best theory, I think, as it relates to why Dylan is acting so sketchy and why Deacon Mark Burton is acting so sketchy, because those two.
I just had the best joke. I can't say it.
No, don't.
Thank you. Save it. Those two were in some sort of relationship, and that's why there's just like a lot of blackmail going on. Like people know secrets, people are keeping secrets, but that's why you have a journal, and you don't think that's going to get in the wrong hands. And so her friend Jess just learned something pretty staggering to her. So she has that information, and that'll probably be revealed at some point in this episode. And I can't wait. So tomorrow night after the Bruins game, we will have our full recap of this. We'll find out if we were right, if we were wrong, if we were nowhere close, if we stumbled upon it.
Look at us, blow us up, make us full screen here. Look at Og.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at this guy.
He has so many,
where is he?
so many theories.
Oh,
there he is. Look at him. Riveted.
Very excited for tonight.
This poor guy. He's just getting a little nap. He's probably
He's old as shit. He's almost 11 years old.
He set us alarm
shit.
at 10. He's like, listen, wake me up at 10. I don't need to be here for the pre-show. I need to stay happy.
Well, by the end, an hour from now, we're going to know who it is.
I'm so excited.
We're going to know who murdered someone's daughter.
I cannot wait.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wait.
I got to get to the couch.
It's been so fun.
Guys, this was great. Thanks for tuning in, and we will talk to you guys again tomorrow. So enjoy the episode, and we will talk to you then. That'll do it. Peace out.